From the beautiful South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas, we're here for the title matches of the scratch and handicap divisions of the 2015 JBT Las Vegas main event. We've already crowned Madison Daly the girls scratch champion. We're going to determine the other two divisions right here as Kyle Duster is taking on top seed Wesley Lowe. And in the handicap division, it's all Aloha as Chase Fernandez and Brandi Chun, a pair of Hawaiians, are playing for the title. Whoa! And a nasty how do you do for Chase as he throws a good shot and pockets 7-10. Nastiest non-split for Duster, meanwhile in the right-hand lane with the 3-6-9-10 combo. So a difficult start there for everyone involved. What are the handicaps? Great spare by Duster. Chun is 43. And 53 for Chase, so Brandi's got to beat Chase by 10 pin scratch to tie 11 pins to win it all. Large contingent of Hawaiians joined us this year, as they do every year, but I think there's quite a few more this year. We really do appreciate that. It was odd because there was more Hawaiians but less macadamians received. I'm not sure how those two things go together. We're so grateful to have them with us. Hope it'll be even more next year. Kyle, who resurrected his career by going two-handed. Some of us scoffed at it at first, and he has proven everybody wrong. Of course, speaking of two hands, this guy, he's not fully two-handed because there's actually a half a thumb in that ball, but he's making waves on a national stage from the left-hand side. We're talking about Wesley. He's always been a shorter guy. He's grown quite a bit in the last couple of years, but still, it'll be a race to the foul line with his feet. The entire bowling ball is up on his entire left arm and then just uncorks with an extreme amount of power. And that's what that does to the pins when it hits the 1-2 on the other side. Brandi, a nice basic beginner game on that hard and straight is the way to go sometimes on these sport patterns. Leave yourself makeable spares, and here you go bowling for titles. A brutal Alcatraz pattern challenged these bowlers this week. There's only 7 or 8 bowlers in the scratch division plus out of a couple hundred entries for the 8-game qualifier, and a lot of folks turned it up in the semis as they got to only cross with each other and really broke down the pattern well. You could tell just how much talent was in the field by the way the scoring pace went up when they had a chance to break it down together. 3 300 games, all of them coming in that semifinal match play round. Wesley had one of them. Fellow Team USA Andrew Anderson had the second. Who had the third 300? Who had the third 300? And of course, another Team USA, Michael Tang, defending champ Michael Tang, who just finished up in 3rd place, losing in the semis to Duster. Who is that back there? Thank you, Kyle. Another decent shot for Chun, keeping the ball in play. Kyle must just be fired up because he's a pretty big Eagles fan. So he's a little salty these days. Uses the full approach and generates speed with his legs and power with the right wrist as the left hand releases right before release. Fernandez won a thriller with Justin Patton in one handicap semifinal by 1 pin. Patton needed a strike to tie and only got 9. Or else it would only be semi-aloha. Now it's all aloha. All the time. All 4 bowlers with big fan clubs at this point. Nice shot out of the youngster there. catches a double to make up for that open frame, just about tied on the scoreboard, which means that he still has that 10-pin overall advantage when you add in the handicap. A lot of youngsters made the top 8 in handicap this year. Chase just 12 years old. Just Oahu middle school. I think these are all Oahu kids. Apologize for my lack of Hawaiian geography knowledge. Every time Duster posts that shot, that right arm stays aloft. That's a sign that everything has been in timing, and timing is everything with these two-handed deliveries. That one good and got the good result. That one bad and got the good result. Early turkey for Fernandez gives him the lead. Extends his lead, I should say. Wesley mixes them up in the right-hand lane. Freshman phenom for Wichita State now, out of Palmdale, California, north of Los Angeles. Wesley has, since he was a even littler guy, been a dual tour star. Started on the SoCal JBT and then started with us a few years later. He has an even number of titles on both tours, 22 in each. And if that's wrong, Wesley's dad will be the very first person to correct us. Well, Jeff, I believe that Junior has 23 titles, he'll say. Well, he's got 10 more pins there. A confident double. Puts him in the 2 teens and gets him roughly a 20-pin lead. Nice spare for Chun. Meanwhile, she's showing her spare shooting skills right now as she's opened with 4 in a row. An all-spare game would have won a lot of matches today. I don't know if it will win this match. Huge thanks to Mike Maniak, Angie, and the whole crew here at South Point. Our first year over here, we missed Jerry in Texas Station. They've done an outstanding effort for us at the stadium. Was a little bit irresistible. We're happy to be here as well. Oh, that's a much tougher spare for Chun to shoot at, and boy, Duster catches a huge break as he turns a big 4 into a 4-pin there. That had 6 with the circle around it written all over it. A huge break. You don't want to go down 12 more pins to Wesley. It's really tricky to carry out the 8-pin, and if you do that, you leave the 1-pin. That's your scenario there for Chun. So Fernandez in control early. Duster needs to focus and not let this good break get away from him. Still shooting two-handed. He's going to go cross lane at it. Hooking into it. No trouble. Just like an all-spare game would have won, a Dutch 200 would have won many games in scratch this weekend, but I would lay strong odds that that's not going to win a Dutch 200. But you never know. Another good shot from Chase, yes. Takes full advantage of that Brooklyn, consolidating it with strikes on either side. Hey. And he's bowling the high game on the board right now. Duster just has to hold his good lane as long as he can and figure out that right-hand lane. He posts it. Oh, wow, leaks it off to the right just a bit, but two-handed power, throwing urethane, I would think, with that ball. Are both bowlers throwing urethane? Well, we don't talk about the ball. It's not that. Wrong company, sir. We don't mention the ball. Yeah, so a lot of players, when the lanes are tough, even when there is a lot of volume like there is today, they gravitate towards the urethane. They generate more than enough power with these two-handed releases, and they are trying to tame the reaction by backing it down to urethane with surface. Popular thing these days. I saw another JBT grad, Jacob Buttriff, on the PBA show doing the same thing. He's just so calm. Oops. Opening for Chun here as Fernandez opens. Wesley walked in here 5 days ago for our very first squad of our first warm-up sweeper and popped like 780 or no, 4 games, so like 930 or something. And well, we all said thanks for coming, and hasn't had anything less than a number 1 next to his name since then. Won the scratch doubles with Joey Grondin already. And mixes him up here. 4 in a row, puts him in the 230s and puts him way ahead. And Duster's got a strike here in the 7th and 8th now. Meanwhile, Chun and Chase both working off of opens now. An opportunity for Brandi to claw into that lead if she can convert this 3-6-10. Much easier than her last spare attempt. And is yet to strike. Duster does just that. I guarantee you, nice job from Brandi, I guarantee you that Kyle's heart is beating very, very rapidly inside, but he is doing the external calm thing. It's a big moment for him. He needs to maintain that exterior calm to translate it into some interior calm to keep on making shots and not let the moment get him. He's been in big spots in our regular week-to-week tour against some pretty big names, but this is just a big moment. Post it. Ooh, ooh! Oh, man. Gets the messenger to wiggle it, but not knock it over. So now the best he can do, 9, 10, 11, 4, is get into the 220s. Wesley has to stay clean to win the title from here. When we went here for our regular stops in March and June, Wesley had some corner pin issues. He would be fine with 7-pin spare, 7-pin spare the rest of the way. Oh, oh. Woo. Just enough lane for Duster to cover that 7, and Chun with another nice spare. Make that 6 out of 7 frames for Brandi. She's just gonna spare her way to the title. Fernandez now has open frame sandwiched between those 4 in a row. Wesley can just about lock up main event with a strike. But he sort of catches a break getting the 7-pin out of that rack and not 3-7ing. 3-9, not the easiest spare in the book, but not too bad. What a ball from Fernandez. Are we sure this dude is 12? Came over here with his whole family. Brother tried the scratch division. Hardly an empty seat in the arena right now. Standing room only, apparently. Yes, sir. Defending champ William Robbins made the cut. All 3 defending champs in singles made the first cut this year. Only Tang made the step ladder. Wesley at the double wood. No trouble. When you lead from start to finish like Lowe has, sometimes it can be a different kind of challenge. You're like, geez, I've dominated this bowling center for 5 days now, and one game, the variance escalates considerably, but he's done this so many times on so many different levels now that it's just kind of unflappable. Wow. Well, I already said it. He's just fine with a ring and 7 right now, as long as it ends up with this little slashy mark aside it. And that was a ringing 7. And he's at the washout, so it's feast or famine from him. He's now got 5 strikes and 8 frames, but 3 opens around them. Anything can still happen down there in the handicap division. Wesley shoots cross lane, takes most of the hook out of the ball. No trouble at all. Thanks also to Ebonite. We had a demo day every day here at Main Events. Adam and the crew from EVI. There's Chun's first strike of the title match. Brandon Allred and the Logo Infusion crew throwing beanbags around our bowling alley all weekend long. All the parents, friends, the hotel crew. A lot goes into making main event happen every year. Duster must strike out the rest of the way to force Wesley to mark in the 10th. I believe that's the scenario. If Duster does go sheet, we'll double check that. Chun for the double. No. 2 excellent shots. Just couldn't get the 5 to carry there. Brandi basically expressionless out there. It's got to be nerve-wracking for these two. Brandi, 15 years old, goes to Island Pacific Academy. Maybe they'll play this tape one day at school for her. Say I won $1,000 at least over Christmas time. Got a hook. Oh man. And that blower 7 is going to seal it. Live by the power, you die by the power. Sometimes that blower 7 is more common for power players than it is for lower rev rate players. And that's just a rotten time for it to show up for Kyle, who put his full heart and soul into this tournament, and it's going to be a great result, but 1 position short of a title. It's an outstanding finish against a super tough field, but don't tell him that right now. And another feast or famine for Chase, as he's got another split to deal with here in the 9th. We're going to have to add this up and see where we're at. Well, he is getting the 10 extra pins of handicap, so it's still in good shape, but it's closer. Split conversion would be exciting here. As Duster finished out with a very well bowled game with 218. Big round of applause from the crowd. Chase at the split doesn't have it, leaves the 7-10 after 2 balls. So he's got 212 when you add up his handicap. Brandi can have up to 197 in the 9th. So he's still leading by 15. And this man has been leading since game 1 on the 26th. He was leading after the first game of the warm-up sweeper. He's going to lead after the last game of the stepladder. Somewhat dominant. Well, yes, Jeff, I do feel that Junior was dominant this weekend. Big shot for Chase. Oh, he gets the Brooklyn. So Chase is going to throw the no spare, but will it be enough for the title? Wesley will be clean. He'll be in the 230s, 3, 4, 5, 240s with that double in the 10th. And we will all sit back here in awe. The planet low. The champion. Fernandez finishes up with the 179 game, which is 232 plus his handicap. If I read the scoreboards right, well, if I read the scoreboards right, he's got it right. I think the best Chun can do is 227 rookie strikes. That's not going to happen. Chase Fernandez is your handicap division main event champion. Great run from Chun, though, all the way up from the number 8 seed, just barely squeezed into the finals. Defeated 3 opponents to get here, but the coconuts for everyone. I don't know. Kicks the field goal for the win. An awesome job. out of both Hawaiians, but it is low and Fernandez taking it home. Great stuff at main event. We'll still be here tomorrow. We hope you're here tomorrow, and we hope that you'll spread the word about everything we did here at main event. It was a great one, smooth one. We'll do it again in 2016.